Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, if you're that far back in time. Duckville here. We're going to do some Dota 2 casting. This will be from the GosuCup Asia, obviously hosted by Gosu Gamers, powered by Gigabyte Mainboards, Avamedia, and I'm forgetting someone. Who am I forgetting? It's someone. There is another sponsor, I can't remember. Hang on, let me just double check. Have a media. And MSI Notebook, of course. How could I forget? This is going to be a reasonably large tournament. We've mostly this is going to be some action from round one. So there are quite a lot of teams playing in this tournament, and we're going to try and go through a few of them today. Just looking at some of the games before I get too tired and before my co-caster has to leave me, unfortunately. And joining me is 12th Doc. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man.
Apart from the stresses of the throat and the sickness, doing
yes,
alright?
But we look past that. We dose ourselves up on as much medicine as possible before the doctor says you're clinically dead, and then we cast as much Dota as we possibly can.
That's exactly it. Alright, well, we're going to jump straight into this. I've got a game. It took us quite a while to actually go live, and again, I'm really sorry about that, but we're there finally. And we're going to go straight into this one. It's going to be a team called Team Vesper, who will be playing on the Radiant against Too Much Carries, otherwise known as 2MC. If you just want to go through what we've picked so far, while I just check out a couple of things.
Yeah, we are currently in the first ban phase. First ban went to the dire side of Too Much Carries. They banned out the Templar Assassin as standard ban, and Vesper banning out the Batrider again since the patches, and now it's become a very standard ban. Batrider has been picked up and used to great effect, especially against Templar Assassin, but his power as a carry, as well as all the damage he can do with napalm stacks, etc., it makes him a very viable hero at the moment. But it looks as though he's been banned out. We're now into the reserve time for the dire side, where they're going to think carefully about their second ban.
Yeah, it's been a very common pick. Just pretty much that stage 1 ban or pick is the Batrider, as you said, just very powerful. Sticky napalm, of course, one of the things that's really annoying to deal with when you first look at it. I remember the first time I played with Batrider and I saw sticky napalm and I was like, the turn speed is reduced. What's that all about? What does that actually do? And then you kind of when you actually play against it, this is actually the most annoying thing ever. So it has become quite a popular thing, of course, if you've been watching some of the G1 League, I believe it was, where EG were picking up Batrider quite a bit, and Demon was doing a great job of bouncing around with a blink, picking up someone with lasso and then bringing them back. It's quite something to contend with, so it is quite common to see him banned out these days.
Yeah, it's great escape mechanism as well with the flame wings, because it ignores terrain. So you can jump up cliffs and down cliffs and round into the river and up another cliff and so on and so forth, and it just means you put so much terrain between you and your enemy because they have to walk the long way around. The final 2 bans coming out. Unusual one for the first ban phase is Brewmaster. That's normally comes into the second ban phase nowadays. But the final ban for Team Vesper is Undying, which has seen a lot of play recently and has seen a lot of bans just because of his buffs as well. People don't like dealing with zombies.
Yeah, God, that has induced so much rage from me. Because of it's just the slow that they have. It's incredible when you get a zombie chasing you down like it's an episode of Buffy or something like that, and just wait, that's vampires, isn't it? My bad.
Well, they've had zombies too.
Yeah. Either way, something like that. It just gets really annoying, and then sometimes they start stacking up, and it's just incredible to try and deal with. And of course, they give the health back to Undying if he dies when he's all ultied up.
Yeah.
So and just
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just a bit of background on these teams. Too Much Carries. I like how it's too much carries, not too many carries. It's very cute. 2MC have quite a few players. It appears to be from the Philippines, so and I believe one player from Malaysia. So they've got Grandi Zordo, Sushi 1122, G1M, Jeff Rocks, and It's Me Mike. It's Me Mike. Okay, yep, there you go. And Team Vesper. Majority, in fact all of them, according to their Gosu Gamers profiles, are from Indonesia. We've got 1128, Yuicha, and Prince's Jr., Gavai, I'm going to go with, and also Susu Gantung, which means something in Indonesian, I believe, but I can't remember what it is. And yeah, so that's our teams for that. We'll obviously go into who gets which players very soon. And yeah, so what else have we got here? We've got a Tide Hunter picked out by the by 2MC. They've also got a Jakira now as well. They're going to be facing off against the Darkseer and a Rubik. Very common picks here from both of these teams.
Yeah, it seems as though Too Much Carries are going for their support heroes first, and then going to leave very much everything to open as what they're going to pick for their main heroes. They're going to take Weaver. Looks as though they're going to... Well, they could do many things with the Weaver, actually. They could throw him top with the support. They could throw him top solo. They could throw him solo mid. As it's looking for Team Vesper, again, they're pretty much open as well. Darkseer seems as though they've got their hard carry, so they're going to throw him on the bottom lane. Rubik can be support, can be a solo mid. He's very versatile, especially with all of his stuff, including the Fade Bolt and the Telekinesis.
Yeah.
So
I really like that Weaver pick. He's a very fragile hero, but in the right hands, a person who knows when to Shikuchi, who knows when to time lapse, he's a very strong hero as well. Because you'll think he's dead, and he'll Shikuchi away. You think he's dead a second time, he'll use time lapse, and then you have to go through the whole thing again. And it can be very annoying, but of course it can be countered with some dust, with the odd Sentry Wood, perhaps something like that. And he will need to perhaps get up some health, but there you go. There is another pretty solid way to deal with the Weaver there, with the third pick for Team Vesper going as a Slardar. Of course, his amp damage helping out quite a lot with the Weaver.
Yeah, the Slardar is a very specific pick. So I'm not sure whether they have their own strategy plans, or whether this was a counter towards the Weaver, but yeah, Slardar's a very nice pick. You've always got his Mega Bash, basically, and the amplified damage, his ultimate, does so much damage, especially when you're targeting one specific hero down and 5 men just beating on them. The armor reduction and everything just mounting on top. It's not fun to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, exactly. And as we can see from the bans, we've got some interesting bans at the moment. Like you've got a reasonably feasible carry on both teams. Obviously, you've got the Weaver for 2MC and Slardar for Vesper at the moment. But I can't help but think that they want to go and they're going to want to try and perhaps grab one of the other sort of semi carries, especially with 2MC's Weaver kind of being countered a little bit by the ant damage. And as you can see from Vesper, banning out the Quap, banning out Night Stalker, and 2MC have also banned out Invoker and the Enigma, because they're like, apart from a good Rubik, like a good Rubik with a Ravage Steel and perhaps a Macropire Steel, at the moment Vesper don't have a huge amount of team fight apart from the Darkseer.
Yeah, the Rubik definitely has presence, but only because the other heroes that they would pick. So Invoker has always got global map presence. If he goes Wex, he just runs everywhere and ganks people. If he goes Exort, he could just Sunstrike, and you're dead as soon as that little whistle comes down from the air. The Enigma with the black hole, obviously, commanding presence. Ancient Apparition, not unusual for a ban phase, I would say.
I've never seen him banned.
Not for a long time, but again, his ultimate is global, and it's a very powerful one, especially if you've been reduced to very low health and you're retreating. Ancient Apparition suddenly respawns, bam, all the way across the map, and then bam, the hero explodes. So they're trying to take away all of the global presence. Vesper, on the other hand, taking away all the potential carries, including what they think might be going solo mid. Queen of Pain, very versatile hero, always solo mid. That's gone. Night Stalker, if you play it Synderen style, that goes mid as well. And that's gone. Chaos Knight, I don't normally see that go mid, but again, it has the potential to, and it is a hard carry, so that's gone as well. Too much carries picks up the Beastmaster.
Well, that's their. Well, obviously, when you're speaking of lanes, that's their off lane there. They can use him for stacking the Ancients and preparing that. Of course, he can use a Tide Hunter in the off lane as well, but I don't know, I feel like he's going to go top with the Weaver, help with probably a tri-lane top, you reckon? With that Weaver and Jakiro? I don't know.
I agree. I think they're going to try and put the tri-lane top. Similarly, Vesper would want to tri-lane bottom, or even... No, they could tri-lane top and give Darkseer the complete of the bottom lane, I suppose. And then have... They need a jungler to do that, though, to support in case things go horribly wrong. You've got to support the Shrek, so you got Slardar, Darkseer. They could throw Rubik mid, but other than that, they'll be looking for a mid hero, I suspect.
Yeah, if like a lot of people recently have been using that that support Rubik in the fact that he can just stack things up. If he comes out of the jungle, if he's playing a full support, just sitting in the jungle stacking up creeps and making sure that the lane is at the tower, then he can just come out of the trees every now and then, throw down a telekinesis, a fade bolt, help your bottom lane with the odd kill there. But yeah, I think if they're going to do that, obviously they're going to want a very good mid hero as well. So Puck comes out of 2MC as their last pick, so helping out with their large amount of helping them out with their large amount of disables as well, because they're going to have the AoE silence, the ulti from Puck, and then of course a bit of damage coming out of the illusory orb as well.
Yeah, the Puck's. We've seen how much damage it can do in play, and when you think that you've killed it, he suddenly blinks back in because he's actually glimpsed himself out of existence, so you didn't kill him. And then he turns the fight around, and yeah, you can never count out a Puck.
That's exactly right. So we're just waiting. We've got not long to go for Vesper with their last pick, and there it is.
Earthshaker.
Earthshaker.
Interesting to note, Bounty Hunter didn't get picked up,
That's true.
or banned at all. So obviously they weren't thinking that.
Yeah, just totally ignored at the moment by both of these teams. And we are going to jump into the game. Looks like we'll just make sure everything is all good. Okay, so down on the Radiant side with their little, I think that's a Saphiric. Yep.
Seraphic Greeble. I have one.
Yep, I think I've got one very similar to that. We have Team Vesper. At the moment, we've got that's. Oh, geez, I can't read that name. Who's that? That's
right. We've got Azazel on the Slardar. We have No on the Shrek, Durami on the Rubik, 1128 on the Earthshaker, and I Hate Monday on the Darkseer. It looks as though all five of them are grouping up together to go for an attack on top, which is an unusual place to go for the.
Wow, it's going to be a smoke as well. So they are going to try and catch out 2MC when they're in the top. The lineup for 2MC at the moment is currently looking like G1M is on the Beastmaster. He's sitting in the middle at the moment. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. We've got our Tide Hunter as KCI Rev. We've got Roxo on the Weaver. We also have Sushi on Jakiro, one of my favorite heroes, and Vista is sitting on Puck in top. So, I don't know, it looks to be like 2MC is just going to try and head into their lanes as you normally would, but they're going to be in for a bit of a shock up top.
Yeah, the lanes are interesting as well. If this is how they're going to lane, they're going to try lane bottom, they've got going to have a Puck solo mid in the solo safe lane, and they're going to have Beastmaster solo mid. If that's the case, this is not what I expected at all. It may be that they've played this, practiced this before as well, and they're expecting a tri-lane bottom, and so this is a sort of counter-defensive tri-lane.
Yeah, just that that offensive tri-lane down the bottom. Of course, it does have a lot of power. You've got the gush from Tide, able to slow them down just a tiny bit, and then of course doing the damage as well. You've got Jakiro's Ice Path as well, one of the very powerful disables in the game. You've then also got Weaver with Shikuchi able to just really stay on top of a hero if they're slowed down like that. So I can certainly see some of the wisdom behind the way they've laned this, and it is pretty cool. Looks like they are going to just make sure that the creeps are blocked.
They're going to wait in the jungle because they're expecting some shenanigans to go down in the Radiant Jungle. They put out the Observer Orb in the creep camp, so no easy lane pulling from that camp. And it looks as though they're going to just rotate round to the lane. Is one of them going to be caught out?
Roxo with the invis there is just not in the vision. It looks like the Tide is also going to be caught out. A really nice Fisher. A little bit of a miss on the stun from Leshrac. There is the Ice Path, and it looks like 2MC may turn this around and get the first blood on the Earthshaker. Very nicely done. Of course, that hidden Weaver was able to just pop out of nowhere and just say, hey guys, I'm here. Looks as if they're going to continue to try and follow it up. Roxo doing a little bit of a dance with his Weaver there, getting a couple of shots on Leshrac, getting him down really low, and that is quite a nice start there, of course, getting some of that XP to the Weaver. And who actually got that first blood? Oh, it was the Weaver. So yeah, so 409 gold for that Weaver, not to mention the little bit of extra as well for the other guys. So great start from 2MC, and we'll just go over the lanes if you want. Just up the top, we've got the Puck against a Darkseer, which is going to be a very interesting battle. Of course, the ranged hero should be able to help out in dealing with the Ion Shell. Not necessarily discounting it, but certainly something that's going to be a little bit annoying for I Hate Monday. Looks as if there is going to be an attack on I Hate Monday anyway. He does have Surge, so he gets out of jail quite easily there, and Puck is going to... I'm really interested to see that battle. It's not often that I have seen something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting at least. They're both at level 3, and they're going toe-to-toe with each other. In terms of levels. In terms of creeps, actually, the Puck is ahead, highest farmer on the field at the moment with 11 for 4. Darkseer not doing as well, only a 4 for 0. So they're having a jolly good old time on top lane. They're both getting their levels and they're having a bit of fun with each other. Puck's coming out on top of this fight, however.
Yeah, I think he's a really nice way to try and deal with that Darkseer. The offensive tri-lane, obviously one of the really good ways to deal with that bottom down there. In the middle we do have Rubik up against the Beastmaster, and it looks like the Beastmaster's doing a nice job. 14-2, he's only second. Oop, now he's up ahead of the Puck, so at the moment 2MC doing a really good job with their farming at the moment, so they're sort of keeping way ahead of the rest of Vesper. Meanwhile, down the bottom, as we mentioned, we do have the offensive tri-lane with the Tide, Jakiro, and Weaver up against the standard sort of tri-lane of ES, Leshrac, and the Slardar.
Yeah. Just noticing the Beastmaster's popped his double damage rune as well. They've had both of the runes so far. Even though they've only got one rune watching bottom, they're having pretty decent rune control.
Yeah, it's they've got yeah. So they've only got the, as you said, the one ward there. But obviously, if you can keep an eye on one, you can keep an eye on what's going on in the other. And we do have a fight down in the bottom. Nice little Fisher. He's going to try and keep the Tide in danger, but he actually gets out of danger, slips away. The Slardar goes down, and the Weaver went down as well. So there is a 1-for-1 trade here, and ironically, it's the carries that killed each other there. So
yes,
very interesting scenario
massive
for both of those teams.
Massive dual breath coming out from the Jakiro. Weaver able to get the last hit, and then immediately retaliation from Leshrac finishes off the Weaver. That makes it an even trade. Already they're back into the lanes. Yeah. But Tidehunter was almost about to die as that happened, and then it was a great Icy Path followed by a great dual breath, which made sure that he stayed alive. Unfortunately, the Weaver cost his life instead. So that was probably the best that 2MC could have hoped for. They turned 1-0 into a 1-1, even though it was dangerous because they lost their carry rather than the support.
Yeah, very dangerous, and it looks as if they're trying to just keep 2MC back. Of course, the Earthshaker is sitting in the forest just over here. He's just sort of posturing around, saying, you guys don't want to go too far, because if you do, I'm going to Fissure, and then you're going to be caught out by the Diabolic Edict, and of course the Slithering Crush, which are some very dangerous AoE abilities from the team. It looks as if they are going to go in. 1128 is prepared. Beautiful Fissure there.
Three-way stun.
Catching three of them, and here comes the Slider. He's going to get the down on the Jakiro, so he's going to take care of him just across to the side. Tidehunter in the middle, also in a little bit of trouble. Looks like Leshrac has been taken down, though. Beautiful work from Roxo to get the kills there, but he is also taken down, and then the Tide as well. So a three-way kill from 2MC going down there, and Vesper only losing one of their heroes, and it's the one that looks like a horse, so it's not that much of an issue.
Yeah, it was great work. Jakiro tried to run out of that as best he can, but you can't really go anywhere in amongst those trees. Slardar bashed him down. Earthshaker able to place that sentry ward. I believe it was Earthshaker. It might have been Leshrac who actually planted the ward, and then ran away from the Weavers, trying to get away. Earthshaker was able to kill him with follow-up stun, and then Slardar was able to turn around and kill off the Tidehunter, who had followed him too far south of the river and was not able to retreat to his tower in time.
Yep.
So, a great trade for 2MC, 3 for 1.
Yeah, so Vesper doing alright at the moment, but, you know, they're...
Oh, top! Oh!
In top. Looks like we had the Darkseer caught out by the Puck. Vista doing a great job with his Illusory Orb, and then dodging some hits as well. It looks like the Waning Rift went off as well. Looks like we got another little battle down in the bottom. Vesper coming out to play a beautiful Fissure on top of the Jakiro. There's the Slitherine Crush. The Jewel Breath does go off. In comes the Leshrac from the side. A beautiful Split Earth. And we do have Diabolic Edict going down. It looks like Jakiro was taken out. Weaver as well. So far 1-1. Is it going to continue? Looks like Leshrac will escape just in time. And the Earthshaker is also just out of the picture now. So again, another little 1-1 trade down in the bottom for these two teams.
They're just trying to go with each other toe-to-toe, getting as much out of the creep wave as possible, getting as much gold, much experience, and whenever they can, going on to the heroes, gaining the golden experience from that instead. It doesn't matter if you die at this much point in the game, so long as you get the experience to get those levels. It's very important to get that Tidehunter up to level 6 for his Ravage.
Yeah, it looks like we had a couple of other trades here. 2MC getting a kill in the middle. We had the Beastmaster taking down Rubik with his ulti, which has obviously popped up quite nicely for him. And then up the top, we saw just the end of Darkseer against Puck, and Puck was taken out by the Darkseer there. So there are very interesting trades across the board for both of these teams. We're sitting at 6-6. The gold graph still just slightly ahead for 2MC. It's obviously not a huge deal, and the experience graph as well. Nothing too major there. Of course, it's only around about 1,500, if that. But still, obviously, if it's leading your way, then you're doing something right. It looks as if we will have a 4-man gank down in the bottom. Rubik coming in. He's got a nice path to deal with the Tidehunter now caught out. He's got a Telekinesis, then the Slitherine Crush, then the Split Earth. We've got the Diabolic Edict as well. Tide goes down. Will they be able to get the Weaver? No, just out of it.
He stole Shikuchi. This is going to be interesting for him. He'll be able to run around the map like nobody's business, provided he has the mana, of course.
Yeah.
But that was a great little gank. They just want to constantly deny Tidehunter from ever reaching level 6 as it is. He is still on level 5. He's still quite a way away from finishing off level 6. He's got 3/4 of a level to go.
Yeah, and it looks as if we've got the Beastmaster just sitting around trying to catch out that ward, but it looks as if it did not go his way. Meanwhile, Rubik has got his treads, so he's got that ready to go. Down in the bottom, the heroes for Vesper have got, we've got the treads up for Slardar. Nothing really too much for Leshrac, of course, and then we've got, who else have we got here? We've got the Earthshaker, not with too much, of course. He's providing a little bit of support down in that bottom lane. And the Darkseer has got his Soul Ring and the Stout Shield to help out with dealing with some of that damage. Speaking of which, here is a little, nope, just the illusory orb thrown out by Puck just to see if he can get some damage on his opponent, and clearing out some of that wave as well. So yeah, things just at the moment still reasonably stable. We've just been trading a bit of back and forth, as you can see on the items from some of the Dire team. We've got the Weaver. He's got a little bit. He's got his poor man's shield, and then of course the boots as well. His wand is all charged up and ready to go. Tide Hunter has got just the strength bracer there, and Jakiro, of course, being the little bit of support here, has just got some wards. But it looks if we will. Are we going to have another catch? Nope. The Weaver just getting out in time, but it looks as if the Beastmaster has come down to help. He's got his axes. He's also got haste, and is ready to go. I don't know if we're going to see a fight here because they saw it all coming with those wards in the forest.
Yeah. I'm just following around, seeing what they're doing at the moment. I've noticed that a second courier has been brought up for the Dire side, and that is for Puck's personal use only, and that's taking his bottle back and forth between the base. That's all it's doing at the moment. So that's why Puck is able to stay in the lane as much as he possibly can. He's getting constant regen because he has his own personal courier.
Nice little investment there from Vesper, or whoever bought that one. I'm not actually sure who bought it. And now we've got the Beastmaster just sitting down the bottom. He's getting all prepared for a gank here, but Vesper just playing quite far back, sitting on the tower. Looks as if their Slider's going to come back into action. Ty getting caught out by a Fisher. Don't know if they should really go on this. It's a bit of a trap because the Beastmaster is coming up behind them. Here he comes, but they do go on him anyway. Tide being caught out. Rubik is there as well. Jill Breath going out from the Rubik, actually doing some more damage to the Tide. Beastmaster has taken down the Earthshaker at the back. Jakiro looks as if everybody is going down here. We've got action all over the place. So Weaver gets a kill. Looks as if Slider is going to be caught out a bit here as well. Puck ulti, gonna lasso him up. There it is, and bam, down goes the Slider from Vesper. So the kills that time going the way of 2MC. Looks like they will be able to take advantage of that down in the bottom as well. What did you think of that fight?
Yeah, there were a lot of nice little things going on, like the Beastmaster coming in behind where the fight was coming in, and then roaring up towards his fountain. Was able to catch the Earthshaker with nobody to help him, and then one right click later the Earthshaker was dead. So a nice pick off of the support. He was then able to help his team engage the rest of the fight. So nice little plays like that really help turn a fight around.
Looks if we've got 4 down in the bottom again for 2MC. I'm not sure. No, it looks like the Beastmaster is going to head back to his middle lane. Going to say I need to get that farm up again. And as we can see, the Tide Hunter is now very close to his level 6. Still just a little bit behind where he'd want to be though. But helping out that Weaver sitting at level 8 is always a good thing. But again, 4-man down in the bottom for Vesper. They're looking to perhaps get another kill to try and even up the trade to make sure this game is a 10-10 and looking as even as possible for all those OCD people out there. As we can hear, the middle tower is also under attack. Beastmaster looks like he is going to pick this one up. A nice little gain there for G1M. Meanwhile, down in the bottom, I'm not sure. I was going to say, what is that Slider doing? He's pushing forward quite far. Down goes the tower in middle. And that is a nicely there for G1M on that Beastmaster.
Yeah, taking advantage of the situation. He knew that the bottom lane was pushed out very far. He knew that there were 4 heroes down in the bottom lane. So he knew that Rubik was missing from middle lane. He just rotated round to his lane and took down the tower. So really using map awareness and the advantage they had to take down that first tower.
Yeah, and it looks as if Darkseer caught out again. I Hate Monday not having a good day on Saturday either. He's gone down, I think that's twice now, to the Puck, as we can see on the scoreboard right now. We've got the Puck sitting at 3-1. We've got Weaver at 5-2, looking very good for a very nice carry such as him. Of course, he will need to make sure he gets some health up. But what's he sitting on at the moment? He's got the ultimate orb. So. Presuming he's going to pick up a Lincoln's, and look at that, the Beastmaster already with Necro Book 1 sending out the Raw, picks up the Rubik. Is Rubik going to be able to do anything to try and counter this? Not at all. Wait, he has Shikuchi and gets out. Tide Hunter throws out the Ravage and catches out quite a lot of Vesper.
Big Echo Slam.
Oh my god, that Echo Slam from the Earthshaker, but look at that. things have reversed, and we still have the fight going on down the bottom. Shikuchi coming out from the Weaver again. He's trying to get rid of this Earthshaker. If he can get one more shot. Nope, Puck does it, and there you go. So a very, very big fight between both of these teams. Weaver is not done. He's going to try and find that Rubik, and he will find it, but is he going to be close enough? Not.
No, he wasn't close.
There is a nice time lapse. Yeah. He could probably take a shot on that Rubik there, because the Puck has come along. Puck picks up the illusory orb, should be able to get out of that one if he throws it out at the right time, but no. Puck coming across and taking him down. Puck has a Dagon, so that's why he was able to put the old zap down on Rubik. Meanwhile, it looks like the fight is still going to continue. A silence coming out of Vista, trying to get away if he can, but the Beastmaster coming along, throwing out some axes. Puck goes down, and it looks like perhaps I Hate Monday is also going to be next on the menu. That Weaver is having an absolute field day, picking up kills all over the place, but the Beastmaster got the last hit on that one.
That is a full team wipe as well. It wasn't an ace because they all didn't go at the same time, but it was a full team wipe. Or at least all 5 heroes went down once during that overall fight. I think only 4 went down for 2MC in the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, decent fight. They weren't able to take the tower behind it, but they were able to kill everyone on Team Vesper.
Looks like Slider's going to have a nice sort of catch there. Picks up the tower, gives himself an extra little bit of money, along with those creeps as well. Going to be still not exactly sure what his plan of attack regarding his items is just yet, but he is saving up a little bit of money right now. He's up to 1,500. And as you can see from the rest of the players, we've got still not too much on the supports, but you can always expect that in this kind of game. The Tide has still not got the arcane boots yet, or anywhere near that. But we do have another fight up in the top. The Darkseer trying to catch out the Beastmaster, even though he is invisible right now. And looks like no, he's going to get away. Everything should be all fine up here, and the Weaver also cleaning up some of these creeps as well. So farm looking good for both the carries, like reasonably good. Of course, we've got the Weaver a little bit further ahead at the moment already with his ultimate orb, and preparing to go for I assume would be the defensive Lincolns. I don't think there's any other real item that you want to go for with him with the ultimate orb. But yeah.
I can't think of anything right now. In fact, there's the Ring of Health right now.
The Ring of Health?
Yeah. Ring of Health, that goes towards the Perseverance. That's a Lincoln Sphere.
Oh, sorry, I thought you would... I was looking at the map, I thought you'd ping somewhere, I was like, where is it? Is someone dropping it?
I'm looking on Weaver's items.
Right.
He's picked up his Ring of Health from the side shop, so yep, that's definitely heading towards the Lincoln Sphere.
Yep.
Pinging going down in the middle of the jungle. It looks as though they found Beast... Nope, they found it was Rubik's one after he saw Beastmaster's Call of the Wild.
Yeah, and he actually, meanwhile in the middle, Slaughter caught out by the Beastmaster, so another kill going the way of 2MC, starting to extend their kill lead. Just looking at, let's have a look at the current gold, sorry, not the current gold, we're looking at the net worth. We've got Puck and Beastmaster sitting up there quite nicely. Of course, that Weaver is right up there as well. The rest of the team of Vesper still just lagging slightly behind that, but as you can see, the Jakiro and the Tide Hunter not really doing too much with their net worth just at the moment. Need to buy a few houses to increase that, but they're, of course, effectively those utility heroes that really help out at a team fight, so they don't necessarily need any items to make themselves awesome. And speaking of awesome, look who's being caught out in the middle. The Beastmaster has been caught by every single hero down here. The 3, the Rubik, the ES, and the Leshrak catching him out, not getting to throw a single axe out there. He's not going to be happy about that.
No, he walked in, he's just having a nice stroll through the park, and suddenly he met himself face to face with 3 heroes. Oh hi, what are you doing here in your own jungle? And suddenly he's dead for 30 seconds. The best he could do... he got spotted out by Rubik's Hawk, which is still alive.
Down in the bottom, another big team fight. The Tide Hunter catching everyone out. Looks as if Rubik stole the Ravage and did get a Ravage off to save his teammates. The Rubik is going to try and pursue the Jakiro and tied, but does not really get too far with that. As we can see, Rubik has now got a blink dagger, so this guy is going to be incredibly mobile right now. Of course, it means he can blink in, do a bit of initiation, pick up a hero, but now that he has the Ravage, if he keeps it around for a little bit longer, you can blink Ravage, so looking good for 2MC right about now. And even speaking of which, up the top we can see that the Weaver almost, well, effectively done with that Lincoln's. He's up to 2k gold, just needs to whack on those 2 more extra pieces, and he's got that, which is really going to help him out. But of course that can be negated a little bit, like by a spell steal or something like that. There are a couple of small skills which might be able to help out with that. Of course, does amp damage trigger the Lincolns? I can't remember if it does. I think it does.
I think it does.
It's a very cheap way to do it.
Most of the spells which are targeted activate the sphere. Most of them which are just like an area or global don't.
Yeah.
That's where a BKB would come in handy more often than not.
Yeah.
Looks though Rubik's going to try and lift up the Beast Master, see if he can get something, but double damage rune, he's taking out the Earthshaker, and Shikuchi slows down Rubik. It looks like he's going to take a fall as well, but
Diabolic
no,
Edict from the left
behind.
rack. Yep. Diabolic Edict coming in, helping out, getting rid of the Beastmaster. The Weaver also goes down, but in the end, as we saw, Leshrak getting caught out as well. So again, another really interesting trade there. But now the tower on the bottom is dead. It's going to allow 2MC a little bit more space down here, of course, meaning that they're able to get in there and do a bit more ganking. Of course, it frees up some of the maneuverability of the Weaver as well, given that the tower's not there. You can come in and say hello with a random Shikuchi and try and catch out some of these heroes. But they're really pushing this bottom lane.
Yeah. Just going back to that previous fight, some might have said that 2MC overextended themselves by diving past the tower, and then the Shrek was able to come in with a really good edict, but at the end of that the Shrek still lost his life, so if the tower had fallen then 2MC wouldn't have been able to get the kill on the Shrek, so it's very weird, the outcome of that fight. I think even though they did overextend themselves, 2MC still got the better end of that deal. They traded 2 for 3, and they were able to give themselves enough time to take the tower on bottom instead. So,
yeah, exactly.
Despite overextending, they still managed to get the better end of the deal for that one, and they've smoked up.
Yeah, it looks like
they're looking for a gank somewhere.
Yeah, they're going to try and find someone in the forest. They may catch this Rubik, perhaps, but it looks as if they too have also smoked up. But there they are, catching each other out in the jungle. Raw goes down, Telekinesis, Fisher, Ice Path, Ravage finally goes off, Macropire catching out a lot of the heroes from Vesper. And that was a big amount of kills here. It looks as if 3 kills going the way of both teams. Meanwhile, the Necro minions trying to get some damage done. The Puck is still here with his Invis active, so he's going to try and sit around and see if he can find any of these guys that are sitting around with very low health, perhaps throw out an illusory orb and see if he can catch them out. As we can see, his ulti's not available just at the moment, but with some damage and a nice little ulti, with his buddy here, the Weaver, just coming about, says silence to you, Shikuchi, some damage from the Geminate, and that is the end of that Earthshaker. So being caught out in the middle, thinking that he was safe, and he definitely was not safe at all.
No, you're never safe, especially when heroes go invisible. Okay, the Puck had an invis rune, he was never to know that, but Weaver still alive on the field. He hasn't been killed yet. You probably know by now that he has a Lincoln Sphere when a spell got turned off, but he's still alive. He can still come up behind you when you're that far out in the lane, and he will cause you some problems.
Yeah, as you can see, we got 3 blinks out of the map. We got 1 for Puck, we've got 1 for the Rubik, and of course the Slider also has a blink right now as well, so there is going to be a little bit of maneuverability for all of these players, and with the blink on that Puck, that really helps out as well. Of course, we were talking before about how a Rubik can blink in and use his Ravage if he's stolen that, or a Telekinesis in the case that he hasn't, and you can also use the Puck to do something similar with a blink in and his ultimate as well, the Dream Coil, throwing out a stun and then a secondary stun as well if the Heroes are silly enough to move about at the time, but sometimes you do have to move out anyway. It looks like we do have another smoke gang trying to go off here from Team Vesper. They need to catch a couple of kills just to make sure they're not falling too far behind. We'll check the graph in just a second. The Beastmaster catching out those heroes in the middle. It looks like Leshrak is going to get the short end of the stick here, catching an Ice Path and the rest of the folly there from 2MC, and he was not going to be happy about that one.
Yep, Earthshaker as well, throwing out a preemptive Visser just to make sure that the dire side could not try to engage any further. It looks like they don't really care. They're going to try and engage anyway.
They are going to go in and blink from the park.
They're going straight through Darkseid's wall. They don't care that the wall is up. We want some more kills, please. So,
yeah, just playing really aggressive there. The blink in from the puck, trying to catch out his opponents. Actually did get, I'm pretty sure that was all four of them were caught in that dream coil, but unfortunately the rest of his team was actually a little bit behind. It would have been beautiful if the Tide got a Ravage off to catch out all four of them. They probably would have got an entire team kill off that, but was just a little bit too far behind, and I think that Puck was pinging furiously after that, so perhaps not too happy with the outcome of that little gank.
No, they were looking for more kills than that. They only got Leshrak, and the Beastmaster was the one to claim that. I think that was with axes. He didn't have his double damage rune popped at that point as well, so he still had a full double damage rune at that point in the game. So I'm guessing the Puck was not happy to let only one of them die. He wanted more. Yeah, but then again, would it be an overextension if they dove that past the tower? So you can never be sure.
And it looks like we had the TP in to try and protect the middle tower, but Slaughter not going to have any of that, blinking in, getting a good stun off. He's also got the amp damage on the Beastmaster, takes him down, may even get the Tide, who has used up his Ravage, and he is going to get him. Down goes the Tide after using his Ravage though, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. It looks as if, however, the rest of the the Vesper team, I should say, has gone down to the very deadly squad of the Weaver, the Puck, and also, who else was there? The Jakiro as well, throwing out the odd dual breath. So that was not good at all for Vesper. They're starting to really fall behind here. They're losing map control, and they are losing towers left, right, and center. As we can see, the tier 3s out here, all the way, tier 1s all the way out here are still active in the middle and the bottom lane for 2MC. So they've got that much map control at the moment. Now having taken down the middle tower, their Weaver picking up another 500 gold or thereabouts. So he's going to be really banking up right now. It looks as if he's up to 3.7k. Do you reckon he's going to save for that Radiance, or is it not really worth it at this point?
I really don't know.
I don't know if it's worth it at this point, just because we're sort of this far in. I mean, obviously it gives him a lot of damage, but perhaps he could use something else for it. But unfortunately, losing that tower with the deny there from the Earthshaker, but Slaughter has found a dragon. He wants a pet dragon. Nope, he's going to put down the amp damage and smash the dragon to pieces. Beautiful Ice Path, Macropyre as well. And wow, most of the... yeah, huge Echo Slam yet again. 1128 doing a huge amount of damage with that, but again, despite the great initiation from Vesper, they just don't have enough to deal with all of these heroes. They've got the Weaver all around the place doing all sorts of damage. Shikuchi about to catch his opponent. Tidehunter says, no, that is mine, and that is a total team wipe. So Vesper looking at a little bit of a troublesome position right now. As we can see on the XP graph, it is all going the way of 2MC, sitting down there at 14k XP ahead. They've also sitting at almost at the there it is, the 10,000 mark for the gold lead there. So they're sitting in a beautiful position right now. As we said, a lot of map control gone for Vesper, and 2MC looking to push the issue here.
Yeah, the gold graph and the experience are really telling the story at the moment. They've only lost one tower, and that was their tower on top. It's the way that the fights have been going. They've been getting great single spells off, like Earthshaker's Echo Slam, really good ones, but then they just don't have any sort of follow-up to kill the rest of the team. Beastmaster, Jakiro, Weaver, all on really low health after that Echo Slam, but nothing was able to finish any of them off, so they just couldn't finish the deal, as it were, and then they lost their entire team because of it.
Yeah, and then you throw out, we've obviously got the magic wands to help out with the repairing of some of these heroes on 2MC. They've got the Jakiro, who has almost finished up his mech. He's almost got that done.
Yep.
And once that's done, you can probably bet your bottom dollar that this game will be heading towards a win for 2MC, just because, as you said, there's no real... the only finishing power that that Vesper seem to have at the moment is this Slardar, and he does have his Blink. He's very close to getting his BKB as well, but as I was just looking at on the Weaver, we've now got the Radiance on the Weaver, so he did pick it up. He's going to use that, that burn as well, which is going to help in those team fights, because this guy is very hard to take down. And speaking of hard to take down, they're going to get rid of that Roshan. Weaver's probably going to pick that up, I would assume. No, the Beastmaster picks that up, my bad. And yeah, look at that. Necro Book 3 also helping out with their team fights as well. Of course, the Mana Burn and the True Sight, just in case of some invisible shenanigans out of Team Vesper. And now things are, I hate to say it, they're looking very dire.
Haha, a pun. Very dubious smoke as they went into the Roche pit. It wasn't like they were going to be caught out, and even if they were, they were all there, so there was no point in smoking if you're going to waste it by attacking Groshan. In the end, though, they still take it. Having a look at items again, Jakiro 500 away from completing the mechanism. Really have no idea what Tidehunter wants to do next. Maybe get that magic wand. He has 2 branches, and that's about it.
Well,
fight's about to... Lots of pinging.
The Puck's going for a Lincolns as well, so we're going to have double Lincolns out. But speaking of magic immunity, here comes the Slardar throwing down the BKB, putting his stun up as well. Still stays alive through that through the Ravage as well. But again, just so much damage coming out of 2MC. They've killed off the Slardar, they've killed off the Darkseer, the ES, the Leshrac, and then of course the Rubik as well. The tower goes down. Not a single hero lost there from 2MC. Of course, the Beastmaster says, "Hey buddy, I've got an Aegis, I do not care about death right now," and it looks like they're going to push into the bottom, and there is no real way to stop any of this from coming through.
No, it's a great calculated risk as well, because he roared on that Slardar knowing that it would go through the BKB, give the rest of the team enough time to turn around and start right-clicking him and then finish him off after the BKB had worn off. In fact, the right-click damage itself may have been enough to kill him, especially with that Weaver now having the bonus damage from the Radiance.
Exactly, and as we can see, no buyback available for Vesper at the moment. There's just not enough money for that team. They've still, as we mentioned, they've still only taken 1 tower up the top from 2MC. So it looks like they're going to have to finish up this game very soon with this. The Tide has now picked up a Blink as well, so he's going to be able to bust up the team fights. Even if Puck doesn't initiate them, you've also got now a Blinking Tide to help out with that. Speaking of Blinks, look at that. Here comes the Slardar. Not afraid, does catch the Puck, but now all of the rest of that damage comes out. A beautiful Echo Slam from the Earthshaker catches out quite a bunch of those heroes. Weaver's down, Tide's down, only for a trade of the Leshrac, but I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to be able to fight back with the rest of this? Yant damage going up on the Beastmaster. Not going to allow a Slardar to get the kill there, especially when there is some backup available as well. And trying to pursue is the Rubik here. He's got the Illusory Orb from the Puck, but never going to catch a guy who's got Blink, he's got Lincolns, he's got Phase Boost, and of course his own Illusory Orb. So things are, they're trying. They're certainly trying to make sure they can come back, but you know, as we can see on the XP earned graph, they're quite a while behind. Over 25,000 behind is Vesper, and almost at 20k as well.
At the 20,000 gold mark, almost hit the 20,000 gold mark. It's dipping slightly back up towards the Radiant now, but after that fight, but. Even so, it's not looking good.
Definitely. But, as we can see, still going to continue to farm up. They're trying to grab some of these creeps in the middle. I I don't know, I'm trying to think of a way that you could possibly bring this back. I know it's like you say it every time there is a Rubik in the game, but it is going to count on some beautiful spell steals from the Rubik. If you can catch the Ravage, if you can catch the Macropire, something like that, just to give them a little bit more edge in the team fight as well, just really helps. But and of course you can add to that the Echo Slams. We've had a lot of really good Echo Slams out of 1128, and he's sort of he's sort of made a fight possible where it kind of looked a little bit impossible at the start, but then, with that limited finishing potential, Vesper's had quite a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they need to take a team fight now, but the only way they can take a team fight is with good positioning. 2MC have had the best positioning all game, and now that they have so many blinks or potential to just change the way positioning works, they're dominating the position.
And we did have another team fight here. Slardar blinked in, got taken out, of course, by the Primal Roar. Looks like Tide fell down to an image, I believe that was, from the Darkseer's Wall of Replica. And but it's pretty much it's all done right about now. As we can see, Puck sitting up there at level 23. The Weaver is also there on 22 as well, sitting quite nicely with his Radiance, and of course a Reaver as well, adding to a little bit of his health. And the Lincolns also just giving him that extra bit of durability. So things we're like trying to figure out a way that Vesper could fight this back, but they've lost the bottom racks. The bottom lane is pushing in. Looks like the middle racks is also going to be coming up for destruction very soon. Down goes the tower. Not too long left on those racks as well. And I'm not sure what Vesper can do about any of this.
I think it's a little bit of the case of too little too late. Down has fallen. The middle racks, both of them now, they're going to be able to maybe pick up one or two heroes at the back end of this, but they've now got two lanes to push out all the time. Most of the time, with one lane down, you can sometimes come back and win the game, but for Hook's sake, he's getting picked on.
Beautiful play. I think Vista has been a really, really key component here, throwing out the silence. His Dream Coil, of course, helping out as well. And, you just add that to the fact that you've got the Tide throwing up the Ravage every now and then. You've got Beastmaster pushing through the BKB, and even when there is no BKB, he is throwing out really nice Primal Roars, and then just the Weaver sitting off to the side saying, hey, I'm an ant, and I'm doing all sorts of damage to you. So, there's GG, of course, Vesper going down to 2MC in this. It is a best of one, of course, here in the GosuCup Asia #2 with our sponsors Gigabyte, Ava Media, and MSI Notebook with the $1,000 prize pool. In fact, is it prize pool or first place? I can't remember. It's one of them. But that is going to be it for game #1. As
There's definitely money.
Oh yeah, there is definitely money. I think that's a good way to put it. There is some money out there, and as you can see, just a few little bit of playing around at the end from 2MC while they wait for that fountain to finish up.
Yep, all of the Radiants have now disconnected, and
there you go.
Ends with a Puck getting a double kill, mega kill. There we go. The Ancient has fallen. Dire victory.
Indeed. So. Game #1 going, the first game that we're going to have a look at tonight, going the way of 2MC. Hope you all enjoyed that game. It was quite a lot of fun. I think, as I mentioned, I think Puck was a really, really good component there. The Weaver getting quite a few kills down in the bottom during those very early sort of trading phases, I suppose you could call it, where they were effectively just trading kills back and forth, but Weaver seemed to be catching quite a lot. We saw him at 5-2 right at the start of the game, which is not too bad at all. Picked his Lincolns up pretty quickly and then transitioned over to the Radiance that he after he got all of that done. I think probably you would say the standout would have been Slardar for Vesper, but I mean, the 11-9 Slardar, he was doing what he could. It was quite a way back to try and and bring the team back from that point. What did you think of that, Doc?
Yeah, it's a problem when the ball starts rolling and you suddenly find yourself struggling. It's a very big uphill battle to try and get back to even equaling, if not surpassing your opponents. And 2MC, they were very on top of their game. They just kept nudging the ball further downhill, and it's like, nope, sorry, you're not pushing this back up. It's going to kill you.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what happened.
Indeed it is. That's the way the cookie crumbled in this game. So, from the looks of the bracket, 2MC will go through to face off against NLS, who had a bye in the first round. So we are up to round number 2. What I'll do is refresh the bracket, but we'll be back very soon with some more Dota 2 action from the GosuCup Asia number 2, brought to you by Gosu Gamers and powered by Ava Media, Gigabyte, and of course MSI.